Hello viewers and welcome to another tutorial by Happy Cloud Solutions. Today we'll be continuing our DevOps project series. We are currently on episode 6. We'll be looking at Ansible. What is Ansible? Why do we use Ansible? And then we're going to do a demo on how to deploy, an application to a client machine using Ansible. So just to jog our memory, this are the DevOps tools we've been looking at in this series. We've gone through Jira, JIT, Gradle, Selenium, Jenkins, Docker, and today we'll be looking at Ansible. So, what is Ansible? Ansible is basically an open source IT automation platform from Red Hat, and it enables DevOps teams, organizations to automate many IT processes. And usually these processes are done manually. So for example, you are a support admin and you're responsible for pushing patches or even pushing a new application to various laptops or client machines in your environment. If it was a small business where you had maybe like 4 laptops, you could easily just do that individually and it wouldn't take so much time. But how about if there were like so many machines in the organizations? It's going to be prone to error, time consuming to individually go through all these machines to, either push an update or to install a new application. So that's where Ansible comes in. It enables you to automate these processes. All you need to do is from your local machine, as long as you have the IP address and the credentials to access the client machines, you can do a push to those machines from your local laptop. All right, and so that's what Ansible is about, and that's what we're going to be looking at today. So what does the architecture of Ansible look like? So just like this image here, it is, I don't know if you've heard about agentless and, agent-based. So with Ansible, Ansible is known to be agentless because you do not need to install a software into the client machine in order to do your push of update or application to that machine. So with Ansible, all you need is your local machine where you're going to create your playbooks and your inventory. And then you would then need the IP address of the client machine, the credentials to be able to make that push to the client machine. So Ansible is more related to a push configuration setting. All right. So every push that you do is done from the local machine, and then it goes through the SSH client to the machine that you want to receive that update or that you want to receive that new application. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Today we are going to be creating 2 CentOS machine. Since we're going to be looking, since our core of today is basically Ansible, we will not really deep dive into how to create the CentOS machine because I'm going to use Azure to create these CentOS machines. But basically, I'm going to create 2. One is going to be our master and the other is going to be the client. So on the main one, which is going to serve as our local machine, what we're going to do there is to install the required packages. We're also going to install Ansible. We're going to write the inventory, write the playbook, and then deploy the playbook. That's more like push the configuration to the client machine. Then on the client itself, all we're going to do is to confirm that the deployment that we pushed from the local machine actually got to the client machine. All right, so let's jump right into the demo and see how that is done. Okay, so I'm just going to head over to Azure and I'm going to go to virtual machines. I'm just going to show you how to create the master. You can create your machine either with a VirtualBox, VMware, Hyper-V, whatever hypervisor technology you want to use. But for this one, I'm just going to use Azure. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to create the master. But for the client, I would just leave you to follow the same step to create that because it's basically the same thing. All right, so I'm just going to select CentOS. So CentOS 7 has been selected here. If you do not see it as part of the list here, what you have to do is click on See All Images and go to the search bar, type CentOS, press Enter, and then you'll see all the CentOS flavors here. All right, so I don't want to do this since I already have it in my images. I'm just going to go back and continue this, leave this as it is. So for this, I'm going to use an SSH public key, and let me see if I have anyone that I can use. Okay, so I have one stored in my system already, so I'm going to use this called master key. Next disk, I'm just going to select some things for tests, nothing serious. So I'll use an existing VNet. All right, use an existing NSG. Next. I'm just going to disable this because this is for testing, and I'm going to review and create. So this part is just basically creating the VM. If you are using a virtual box, if you already have a VM, you do not need to follow this process, okay? You will just, fast forward to the part where we'll start working on Ansible. So I'm just going to pause this right now, create the client's machine, also going to be CentOS, and then when I'm done with that, I would resume the video so we can start, installing the packages on the master machine and installing Ansible and writing the inventory, all these things that we need to do on the master machine. I'm going to do that after this VM is created. Okay. So I'm done creating the master and the client VM. So what I'm going to do now is to enter into my CentOS VMs. Okay. While I'm doing that, so this is my master. I'm currently in my master right now. So you see here, Azure user at master. So let me also enter into my client machine, SSH. And let me just grab the IP address of the client. And this is it here. Okay. And enter. So I'll just put my password. All right, so now this is the client. So this is the Azure user client, and this is the master. So now the first thing that we're going to do is to install Ansible. So let me show you something. If you just try to install Ansible like this, I'm going to show you, it's going to throw an error. All right. So let's see. All right. So it says no package Ansible available, error, nothing to do. So that's why first thing we need to do is to install some required packages. All right. So firstly, we'll install this. All right. Yes. Okay, we're just gonna wait for that to load. All right, and now we're gonna install Ansible. All right, so now we have Ansible installed on our CentOS master machine. So now the next thing we're going to do is to go to the host file. So this is basically the inventory where we'll specify all the nodes, or in this case, the clients that we'll be pushing our configuration to. Okay, so I'm going to use the nano editor. So I'll do sudo nano, go to the host file. All right, so I'll just come down here and I'll put Ansible clients. All right, so then you want to get the name, the IP address for your client machine, and mine is .7. So this is the client and it's .7. So let's go back. So that's why I put 10.0.0.7. Okay. So the next thing you want to put is the Ansible password. The password for the client machine. So SSH_pass. So just a simple password that I created for this test. Okay. And then the username. And the username is Azure user. Okay. So we've got the name here. We've got the host name here, Ansible client. We've got the IP address for the client. We've got the password. We've got the username here. Okay, just verifying that everything is written right. And then the next thing you want to do is to save. And to save, we just do Control X, Shift Y, press Enter, and then that's good. Hello, viewers. My name is Kachi. This is a short break just to urge and ask you to like this video and subscribe to this YouTube channel. This channel is used to bring educative videos that are relevant in the information technology world. We bring videos on web development, cloud computing, DevOps, and even artificial intelligence, AI. But the videos are not just limited to that. We also provide videos as they are relevant to the community. We ask that you support us through your likes and subscription. Thank you. I look forward to seeing you as part of our subscribers. Now, let's get back to business. To see that it's saved, you can just go back into it and you see that what you did saved. So Ctrl X to exit. All right, so now we've done that. The next thing we want to do is to create a sample.yaml file, and that's basically the playbook. So we're going to write the playbook now. So sudo nano sample.yaml. Okay, so just not to take so much time, I'm going to copy one that I've already written and then explain what is involved here. So the first thing here is the 3 dashes, which is important when you're writing a YAML file. Then there's a name that we've given our playbook, sample book. This is the name, if you remember, Ansible_clients that I put in the host file. Then the remote user is working as a root user. Then the tasks that are involved in this, for this deployment is 1, you're going to install HTTPD. And basically, this is telling it how to install HTTPD. And then after the HTTP is being installed, we want it to actually run the service, okay? So that's what the second task is doing. It's saying run this service. Then after running the service, that's HTTP service, we want it to create a content. So it's going to be a very simple HTML page that says welcome. So that's what this is all about, all right? So now that we've done this, just do Ctrl X again. It's saying save modified buffer. Just select yes and press enter. To ensure that it actually saved, you can go back to each. You see it's saved, Ctrl X, and that is fine. So the next thing we want to do now is just do a syntax check. And to do that, it's Ansible playbook sample.yaml -- syntax check. Okay. So it looks like everything is fine. So now the next thing we want to do is we want to disable host key checking. So if you realized in the host file, I used username and password. But if host key checking is enabled, it's going to tell you that using an SSH password instead of a key is not possible because of host key checking. All right. So what I'm going to do now is to disable it so we can go ahead with using the username and password. All right. So disabled. So now that is gotten out of the way, we're just going to run. We're going to run the playbook and push our configuration. So moment of truth. So it's gathering the facts and it's saying it's okay. So that means it's been able to reach 10.0.0.7, which is the client machine. So now it's carrying out the task of installing HTTPD. So let's see what it comes back with. All right. So it's telling us that it changed a configuration in our client because it installs HTTPD, it ran it, and it created the content. So you can see that 3 changes have taken place. That is the tasks that we stated in the playbook, which is install HTTPD, run HTTPD, and create content. So you can see here, failed is 0, skipped 0, rescued 0, ignored 0. So voila, we've been able to push an application to the client machine. So now let's head over to the client machine and actually see if we now have HTTPD installed. So simple, we'll just do HTTPD -version. And you can see here that server version is Apache 2.4.6 CentOS. So it was a successful push to the client machine. So you can try this on your own and let me know if you faced any issue. Let me know if it was a success. Leave a comment in the comment box in the comment section if you're having any issues. And for all the commands that I used here, I'm just going to put them also. I'm going to put a link to access those files in the comment section. All right. So thank you. See you in our next episode. To learn more about Ansible or other DevOps tools, you can reach out to us via the Contact Us form on our website. The link is shown here on the screen. Or you can send us an email using hcstutors@happycloudsolutions.com. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and let us continue doing what we're doing. See you in the next video. See you in the next episode.